Welcome, welcome, welcome. My name is Rochelle. Kambawa. Domo arigato gomaisu. My name is Rochelle, and this is the Rochelle's Canadian channel. Happy Sunday, Daniel. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Lady Shire, hi. Love you so much. And to all those listening out there, I've decided to do a stream for a lot of different reasons. I hope you can you hear me all right? I hope you can. Where is my chapstick? I can't do my live without a chat. There it is. Sorry. Okay. Don't panic. Okay. Before we start, a lot has happened in the news, and I need to discuss a few things with you guys, if you don't mind. Let's go for a walk, shall we? There's been some stuff happening, and I'm going to try and discuss this the best way I can without being controversial. Ow. And that'll leave a mark. Okay. Can you hear me okay, Shark? Because, okay. Rest in peace, internet. Okay. Now, firstly, I'd like to give all my prayers out to all the civilians involved, because unfortunately, there will always be civilians on both sides who do not like war. I do not like war. I do not like war because there's always collateral damage, and there are always people involved who did not want war, and there's always people that had no idea what was going to happen, and it just lands on them, literally, and people die, and it's unfortunate. Hi, Roxanne. How you doing? Yes, welcome. So I would like to offer all my prayers to everyone, to their families, to their friends, to those they don't even know, that everything works out in the end, because I don't even know what's going to happen. Because people are making jokes. Dudley's making jokes like, I have family in Iran. No, I do not have family in Iran. Neither does Edmond. But we do have family in Israel, in Jordan, in Iraq, who've been hit by bombing, by missiles. And we can't reach them at all. And it's scary. It's been scary. And it has been horrible. And it's not funny. This is not a game. This is not a joke. So the only thing I have to say about that is this is not funny. So making fun of people who are in the line of fire, who are literally in the way of this, on both sides. But this affects, I guess, it affects a lot of us, because this platform is an international platform. People have family all over. I live in Canada, but that doesn't mean anything. There are people here who are protesting for both everybody. Doesn't matter where you are. Because war is not funny. That's right. War is not funny. It is not a joke. No one wants anyone to be in the line of fire. It is not funny. It is not a joke. It is not okay. So making jokes at people's expense, because there is a lot of very good people whose family live in Iran, and on the other, like and everyone's died. It is not funny. It is not fun. It's not really an issue for me as your side, my side, because no, Canada's always taken a stance of we'll come help you if you need help. We're always like, we'll provide you with the hospitals and the care and the food and everything. But making jokes saying that, you know, my family is being, blah, 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 wah, 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 quack, 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 meow, 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 is sick fuck shit. Just saying. Am I triggered? No. It just shows what kind of person you are. You are who you hang with. Celebrating armed conflict is nothing to celebrate. Celebrating people who are collateral damage is nothing to celebrate. Celebrating fear and just everything that goes with it is nothing to celebrate. And making fun of people who may have family in those places is nothing to celebrate. And speaking from personal experience, it is really fucking scary when you can't reach your family. So shame on you. Shame on you. I'm not criticizing anyone's government. I'm not here to do that. But celebrating, like going, oh, so-and-so's blah, 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 family is dead. Shame on you. You should know better. You're an adult. What are you? In cradle school? What are you? In grade school? Poking someone on the playground? This did not trigger me. I just can't fucking believe it. I can't believe you're fuck shit. Really. But I'll tell you something. I don't expect this conflict to be allowed to be discussed on these YouTube streets, on live streams. No way, no day. No way, no day. No way, no day. Because YouTube has a thing about discussing our conflict and discussing such things in the news. They just want you to just shut the bluff up, because I don't know if you guys have noticed, any creators have noticed, but there's one thing that is highlighted you can't discuss on YouTube, and you get in big spaghetti-o if you talk about it. And I guarantee you, I don't think this thing will be allowed to be discussed, and it will be highlighted. Because I don't think this is going to be a rah-rah American moment. And I'm not criticizing the American people or the American government or the American armed forces at all. Not at all. This isn't one of those moments. I just think this will be on the no way, speak about, just about such as like the puffy fluffy. You couldn't say that word for a long time. It'll just be on the list of no way, no day. And I'll just literally have to add it to my no-no words. I'll just literally add it to my no-no words because it'll just be on the list of it'll be just up for this message is not allowed to be discussed. When you do old school YouTube, they just say, oh, you can't say it. It'll just be one of those moments that'll just be flagged in chat. This message has been flagged as inappropriate conversation. It'll just be one of those because I don't think YouTube is going to let it happen. Honestly. Hey, Carol, how you doing? Love you so much. So if you think taunting because the thing is, Dudley, you're going after subscribers. You're going after subscribers. You're going after people of Middle Eastern descent for simply being of Middle Eastern descent. Your ass show. For real? That doesn't look good. Like, make up your mind. Make up your mind. I mean, I can't decide if you hate me because I'm Jewish or you hate me because my imaginary husband is Middle Eastern, but he's not Iranian. He's from Iraq. He is what's called in the middle of the fuck shit. He didn't do anything to anybody. So make up your mind. Just say. Because this is not a shining, happy moment where people need to be against each other. You need to realize that during times of armed conflict, when all is said and done, nobody wins. Nobody wins. And war is profitable for the wealthy, for the companies that make all the things that go along with armed conflict. So what would be the world's biggest distraction from what is going on? Nothing but a real good old smackdown, party down war. Just saying. Yeah, he's got issues that I can't help you with. Honey, that's a you problem, not a me problem. So I think we need to realize that we are blessed right now. We are blessed. We are lucky simply by something called geography. The only thing that benefits us right now, something as simple as geography. Just where we live. Because there were people living there who were just minding their own business, doing the best they could, working day in, day out to provide for their families, and they had no warning. None. But armed conflict is like that, isn't it? Right? This is an issue of good guys and bad guys with me. This is just a wake-up call to those who are, on their bandwagons and stuff. I just want to just remind everyone, you are safe simply by something called geography. Geography. Now, I know I'm your kumbaya Canadian. I know. I'm just offering you a perspective and just a moment to think about it, to take 2 steps back and realize, forget what's going on. Forget what the situation is. I forget the fact that I can't reach any of our family right now, which is really fucking scary. Put my own situation in my pocket and just put that right there and forget about it. And realize that, yeah, I'm really lucky because of something called geography. Because fate and geography is what keeps us safe. Because the fact that we're not sitting there, we weren't there in a cafe or going to work at a different place in this world, is simply geography and fate. And that's all. And we forget, and that is my regret, that people forget that they are lucky. You don't have to make millions of dollars a year to be lucky, because we're just regular people. Because 99% of us are not the billionaires that run the world. Because they're the ones who their companies, their capitalism, unfortunately, run Wall Street and the Nikkei and the Canadian Stock Exchange, and alter the prices of the things we buy day and day out. And they do that. They make our mortgages go up and down. They're the ones who decide how much we pay for our groceries. They're the ones who mark things up 300%. And they don't blink an eye, because they know we need this stuff. And no matter what happens, we gotta buy milk, bread, and eggs. They don't care. They haven't cared about the prices or inflation ever, because they just don't care, because it doesn't affect them. Not at all. Not at all. Nepo babies don't care. They inherit millions like they inherit somebody's, yawn sitting across the table. Someone yawns, and you just can't help yourself. You got to yawn right on back. That stuff is free, and they inherit their daddy's millions just the same way. It's just one of those things that just happens. So, I ask you, how many billions did Bell Helicopter make during the Vietnam conflict, during the 60s and 70s? Billions. Now, I ask you, how much would that be in dollars today? Oh, wow. A lot. Hey, Aries, how you doing? Welcome to chat. So I tell you, I ask you, how profitable is armed conflict? And the answer is a lot. And just as kids, 18-year-olds whose parents couldn't afford to send them to college, or college just wasn't for them in the United States, they found out they were up for the draft by watching the evening news as the birthdays flashed on the television, as their names are literally drawn. Well, not their names, excuse me. Their birthdays were drawn out of a drum. It was a lottery to their inevitable end. And they came back in pieces, body bags, or not at all. And they came back never the same. Yeah. And they're remembered on a wall, a black wall in Washington. Names upon names upon names upon names. How profitable is armed conflict? The answer is very. Yeah. Just bad. So think about it. It's the ones who make the planes, the helicopters, the chemicals, the uniforms, the medical supplies, the food, the trays they eat it on, the petrol that runs the vehicles, the armed carriers that carry everyone over, and everything in between. Rasputin, lover of the Russian queen. Just saying. So, buckle up, butterfuck. Let's fucking go. How profitable can it be? And the answer is very. So, watch the economy soar, or at least soar for some. Yeah. That'll certainly take everyone's mind off a certain person that's been in the news for oh so very long. There's one thing I did notice, that during all this, I mean, even though the Winter Olympics was going on, it wasn't in the news very much. It was all about someone else, redactions, and whose name was where and whose name wasn't, and what was happening here and there and everywhere. Instead of celebrating your athletes, it still remains somewhere else. So, do I think this is an orchestrated distraction? Absolutely. Armed conflict, sir. How you doing? Welcome, Judge. How you doing, handsome? Yeah. Well, it was just sort of like I was being trolled or trying to be rage baited over deadlies. They're like, oh, my family's dying in Iran. But the thing is, my family, which I cannot reach, um, in Israel, in Jordan, in Iraq, are in the line of fire. I can't reach them at all. And it's scary. And it's fucked up how people are trying to rage bait me. And I'm like, you're not triggering me. You're just showing me what kind of fucked up motherfucker you are. Like, your ass is showing. Your ass is showing. You're showing, you too, just what kind of motherfucker you are. You have issues that no one can help you. At least no one here. However, if anyone is having stress from what's going on, please contact star 988 and talk to someone. There'll be someone available to you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, to discuss how you feel about any situation or what situation is going on right now. Because things can get difficult, emotions can be overwhelming. And I understand, but I can't help you here. I'm not a therapist and I'm not equipped, but they are, and they'll be able to help you in your area. So please contact star 988. There'll be people to contact. Excuse me, I'm sorry, I can talk really. You can contact them, and they are available to you, and they can help you with your mental health issues or any issues that you may have, because you matter. Your mental health matters, your feelings matter, and most of all, you matter. So please remember, you are important, and the Lady Rochelle loves you so much. Yeah, yeah, I know quite a bit about Vietnam. Yeah, I could discuss that all day, all day. I mean, the economics of it, the politics of it, in different countries, the politics on both sides. Well, there's actually 4 sides of Vietnam politics-wise, but before America was involved, after America was involved, I could discuss all that. The religious part of the conflict of Vietnam, the economics of before and after with Vietnam. I could discuss that backwards and forwards. Profiteering and legal and illegal profit regarding war and all that nonsense using Vietnam. I mean, my favorite is discussing the concept of Bell helicopters. That's my personal favorite. Because they were just, yikes. Yikes. Yeah. And for the record, Bell Helicopter is still in business today, doing just fine. Mm-hmm. The Americans made a very big purchase of some Canadian fighters recently. Just saying. If you want to find out about that, it is available in the Canadian news, but not in the American. So you can look that up on CBC. Because you guys have a news blackout about that, which I think is interesting. Yeah, there's a brand new fighter available that you guys did make a large purchase on and is been tested and ready to rock and roll for you guys. Mwah. Gift for the bargain basement price of anyway. So I wonder if you pay tariffs on. I love tariffs. Anyway, so yeah, they're really cool. They look really neat. And they're really fast. Mm. It's the one time in life where things that go vroom just appear. So yeah, technology, right? Yeah, those fighter planes are cool, and we're using them right now. Yeah. Um, yeah, they're neat. They're really neat, 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 neat. Yeah. So yeah, yeah, losses. Yeah, well, I guess anyone who has made the military their career, they'll have somewhere to go and a new place to be deployed. Hmm. Basically, yeah, uh, a lot of places that were targeted were either those who were friends of, like, I'm not even going to go into that, but there was a UN meeting, a NATO meeting that was televised on Canadian television, and was on the internet. I don't know if you guys will have access to it, but you can watch it if you want to see. That was in the middle of the night while this was going on. Yeah. So I'm hoping NATO and the UN can calm it down, to be honest. I'm really hoping the powers that be that do watch over the world, such as the UN and NATO, can calm it down. Yes, it was. Vietnam was originally a French colony, and Vietnam continues to be the largest part of it is still French speaking. I think also Vietnam did have part of it became communist, or there was some communist dealings with weapons and whatnot. I have a few friends who flew choppers in Vietnam and picked up injured. He only spoke very generally about it, but you could tell he's seen some stuff. Yeah. My father had friends that were hesitant to speak to me, and like they would not refuse. It it's like throwing cold water on a dog. They'll either bite you or fuck off. That's how they dealt with it. Hey, Lori, darling, how you doing? Good evening. Yeah, I always found that those veterinarians, listen to me. Those veterinarians are really cool. They have bunnies and turtles and doggies, and they're fabulous. The Vietnam vets were, like I said, they're bitchy, or they just shut the fuck up. Yeah, they were very interesting bunch. They were nice, but if you brought it up, they instantly shut up, or they got mad at you. I just found that was their reaction. They didn't mean, they would say, hey kid, you don't know what you're talking about. Or they would mad, and my mother would drag me away. Yeah. My uncle flew UH-1 in Vietnam, North Vietnam, in a communist country. Yeah, that must have been messy. Really fucking messy. Yeah, I mean, the thing is, when other countries start providing weapons, it, yeah. But we all know what happened. Oh, nice sunset. I'll just get distracted for 10 seconds because I had an opinion that wasn't good. I'll just think of kittens and trees. Yeah. This is unfortunate. I think that's the best way to say it. Hey guys, do you like my new background from Restream? Isn't it pretty? Neat. Neat, neat. Neat, neat, neat. Neat. Technology, huh? Yeah. Yeah. And I always find when they talk about other stuff, Carol, it's most of the veterans I've talked with usually talked about the guns or types of choppers or pets. One guy had a monkey. Yeah, they're when they start talking about like other stuff they had at the camps, usually they're trying to distract you. Yeah, it's cute. Cute. Weird. Fantastic. You know what? I always find when one country hits it and quits it, they realize that it's sort of like this is not working out for me. I gotta go. But my thinking is this: when there's an altercation between one place or another in the world, there are probably two types of wars through time. There's wars that are for freedom and for safety and for like this is my place. This is my home. I've been here forever. I'm not leaving. This is my place. You can't take it from me just because you're a big bad motherfucker. You know, like it has not just like it has principle. It's for freedom. It's for their homes. It's not about I'm the biggest and the baddest and nanny boo boo. You know, and usually those conflicts, no matter how big bad you are, you're gonna lose because it's their place. They know the land. They know the terrain. They know where to hide. They know everything, and and I always notice those conflicts. They'll wait it out to the very end because they're not leaving. It's their place. And I could list tons of altercations through history where, people have come in and, they always have the biggest ships and the biggest plans, like Spain with England, during the time of Elizabeth I, all the way down to Vietnam. America came in, thought they were going to take it, and they didn't. They had a reason. This is their place. They're not moving. You know, just like with Elizabeth I, Spain tried to come in and take everything, take her land, her country, her crown, and even though it was an island, and Spain was always like the big bad, scary. She was like, I'm not moving. And this is our land. England has always been ours. We're not leaving. And usually, sometimes it's always the people who are like, I'm not going anywhere. This is our place. And we know where to hide. And we know how this is our terrain. And you're not experienced here. The invaders sometimes, it doesn't matter how big and bad you are and how fancy you're dressed. You're not used to this place and you're not going to make it. So that's usually why the people who are on the outside come in, they don't always make it. You're out of your this is where valet parking doesn't work, guys. You may be able to pay for it, but we know where we parked your car. And even though you say, this is my ticket, you still have to wait for your car, honey. Because we're the parking attendants and you're going to wait as long as it takes. Vietnam was a proxy war against the Russian backed North Vietnam. Vietnam in 1955, the French were losing and asked the UN for help. Correct. The UN sent the US, Hungary, Canada, Turkey, and a few other countries. Very good. Excellent. I'll put that up. Leave it there. Good work, Judge. I love you so much. You get to sit next to teacher. Anyway, so you can be my helper all day. So that's correct. And when the French moved out, the government system broke down, and that caused rioting, which allowed other outside infiltrators to move in. Hence the communists from Russia and whatnot. They took over the north. The Americans moved in because they had this communist Cold War thing going on. Yeah. And we get blamed for it, and we had to apologize for it. But most people are not educated enough to study what actually happened. That's also correct, Judge. Yeah, it was messy. It was messy. But most people don't realize that what happened in Vietnam was geopolitical. And that's the initial situation. And like I said, you could literally teach an entire university course in the geopolitical situation regarding Vietnam. Definitely. Yeah, well, they remind me of the apartheid movement in Africa, right? It's very similar. That how apartheid was handled in Africa reminds me of the French situation in Vietnam. Very similar, very, very similar. So not much has changed, hasn't? You can change laws, but attitudes don't change all that much. And this is why systematic racism should still be addressed. Yeah. Anyway. Absolutely nobody wanted to be there. Half of the UN were the ones calling the shots. Well, you have to remember the UN was very young at the time. The UN was formed after the Second World War, including NATO. It was the 50s. Everyone was currently paranoid after considering the threat of nuclear war was a very real fear. And this was a time of the baby boomers where they were taught to duck and cover under their desks, and they were like literally walking around thinking that the end could come at any moment, and there was nothing they could do about it. It was a very real feeling. And they became like fatalists. It was like a fatalist generation. And I can't imagine what that must have been like, knowing that at any moment the world could just completely there was no technology to stop it. It was just sort of like they had these like movies where presidents would push just one shiny red button and just everything would end. That must have been absolutely terrifying. And they were still doing like tests of atomic like nonsense in stupid fucking like the Nevada desert for entertainment. Look how pretty that cloud is, right? So, I mean, the 50s, right? And then they were still doing tests in the 60s. And then Mr. Johnson decides, hey, this sounds like a good idea. I'm not really surprised the hippie movement started to, as opposition to all this fatalistic feeling like the world was going to take over. They had no power. They wanted to fight the power, literally fight the power, um, and have some kind of say so against a government that could possibly end everything as they know it over hatred and lack of um, tolerance and unwilling to have give peace a chance, right, Mr. Len? So I can see where this hippie movement spurned from, like a counterculture, fatalistic, you know, communistic fear of just everything crashing and burning around. What country is absolutely safe from any attack of any kind? Literally the safest place to live in the event of war. Anyone know the answer? The safest? Well, have you guys heard about how all the millionaires are building compounds underground right now? And they obviously know something we don't. But honestly, if the world was going to end, the people who would probably be better off are the ones who don't suffer or have to deal with the lack of the lack, if you know what I'm trying to say. So, um, I can't imagine what it would be like to run out of water and food because everything was either gone, burnt up, or, um, well, radiated. So that would be scary in itself. But I mean, we are 50,000 years overdue for Yellowstone Park to have a volcanic episode. So I mean, we could be fatalists and think the world is going to just end and buy yourself a slop kit and hide it in the basement. But I'm just sort of like, well, just each day as it comes, and I'm fine. Hi, Stephen. How are you? I'm not really save the world syndrome, end the world syndrome, fatalistic syndrome, hide in a bunker kind of chick. I'll just take it every day as it comes and deal with it the best I can. And if it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, it doesn't. And yeah, business as usual. You know, right? I mean, but I'm certainly not going to contribute to the fuck shit. I'm not going to contribute to letting people hate on each other and systematic racism. And, I'm going to go contribute to the hate so one people can hate another group of people, one country can hate another group of country. Like, I'm not going to do that shit because it's that kind of hate that creates um, the severity and the possibility of everything coming to an end. I'm not going to do that. And I'm not going to contribute to that. And I'm not going to teach that. And I'm not going to offer an opinion that just starts that fuck shit. I mean, that's the best I can do. And I don't have a lot of people watching me, but I can put my voice out there and at least offer an opinion that says, like, whoa, 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 whoa. You don't have to fucking do that. You don't have to act that way. And if you want to show everyone your ass, the only advice I have to you is wash more because damn, you stink. And you tell us a lot about yourself that way. Happy Sunday. Yeah. Happy Sunday. Okay. Lord Almighty. So, do I expect this topic to be off like the table for Daddy YouTube? Absolutely. Do I think this will be the only opportunity I'll be able to talk about it? Yeah. But I do not think we should celebrate or instigate or contribute to this fuck shit. I mean, if you want to be, rah rah, go go, knock down all those pins. If you want to attack people in your chat for having family of Middle Eastern descent, wow, that's fucked up, man. Because without subscribers, I wouldn't be anywhere. I wouldn't have anyone in my chat, and I certainly wouldn't have anyone watching me on the replay zone. And I know, I'm grateful, and I usually like to have fun on Sundays, but for me to ignore it would be, well, stupid and blind and tone deaf and not self-aware, because I'm not like that, and I don't want to pretend. So I offer everyone all my prayers and my best wishes and my kindness and my consideration, and I just want everyone to know I'm thinking of them as well, because I know how it feels. I really fucking do. So, and it's not okay to wish bad shit upon other people. It's just not. It's not. And yeah, I mean, what's that movie? Oh gosh,